So SOQL. SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. That means whatever the data is present on the Salesforce object, we have to query. So for that purpose, we are using here SOQL language. So someone will pronounce it SOQL queries, and someone will like pronounce that SOQL queries. Okay. So SOQL query and SOQL for the same. Okay. So what is the syntax for this one? Syntax. Yeah. Syntax for SOQL query is first we have to select a keyword. See here, few of the keywords are very, very important. Select and here from. Okay. These two are very, very important. Okay. Without these two keywords, we can't able to write any SOQL queries. Okay. So first we have to write here select and here we have to write from in between select and from here whatever the fields we want to query. So those fields we have to write fields. Okay, fields. So like in the contact object we have ID, last name, first name, phone, fax, email, some custom fields. So whatever the fields that you have, okay, and you want to query, those fields you have to query. Means you have to write here. Okay, those are the fields. From which object? Okay, so here we have like object name. Object name. Here we have like object name. This is the basic syntax. And then if we use like this, then okay, let's write a simple logic. Select okay ID, comma, last name from contact. I'll write like this. I'll write like this. So what it will do is let's copy here. Let's open our developer console here. This is the developer console. In this developer console here, I have a query editor. So from here, I can able to query the records. Okay, for the just for the output purpose. So how it is working, whether it is correct or not. Just to check the output here. Okay, so I pasted my query here. Select ID, comma last name from contact. Now, if I click on execute, then see total 1365 records are there in my database. In my database. That means in the contact object, I have total 1365 records. Okay. So this is how I can able to query. And it is queried ID comma last name. Only ID comma last name. Why? Because we have written ID comma last name in the field sections. And here, whatever the field names that I write, so those will be queried from the database and displayed over here. Okay. So this is about a simple SQL query. Now, what if I want to fetch some of the custom objects? Let's assume we have custom object like, if I can open any custom object here. Okay, let's go with the student dictionary. In the student dictionary, yes, we have student as an object. Okay, students as an object. So this is a custom object. So now I want to query custom objects. Okay. Uh, so give one second. Okay. So here in the student object, let's go to edit object. That means let's set up object manager. Okay, I navigated. Now here I can able to see what is the custom API name of this particular object. Okay, so details. See here API name of this object is student underscore underscore CV. So that means we have to write this API name to fetch the records. And what are the fields that we have here? So I think we have some email, mobile owner. So these are the custom fields. Okay. So how to write the SOQL query for the custom objects. Okay. So let's open this. Okay. Now here I want to write my logic. Okay. My SOQL query for the custom objects. Okay. Select. Okay. And from. Okay. These two are mandatory. So now here in between this, we have to write our fields. ID, comma. Okay. What are the fields that we have? We have branch. Okay, let's go with the 3 or 4 fields. Branch, comma, email, comma. Okay, one more field. Okay, let's go with the subject. Mobile. Okay. Okay. Say ID, comma, branch underscore underscore C, comma, email underscore C, mobile underscore C. Why underscore C means these are the custom fields which we created. And from which object? So object API name will be available here on the details. So now just copy this API name. Okay. Now this is the query that we have to write. Okay. So let's copy this and open developer console. And now here paste and execute. Then see in my org, there are total 4 records are there. Okay. EC 2 records, CSA 1 record, and ID 1 record. And these are the email address and these are the mobile. Queried? Yes. Like this, we can able to query the records. Okay. Custom objects. Now, okay, let's go a little deeper. Now here, okay, this student object, I have total 4 records, but I want only the record, okay, which is having EC as a branch. EC as a branch. Only that means I want only these 2 records. I don't want this CSA and I don't want this IT record. I want these 2 records. Then how I can able to filter this? Means here. So along with the select ID comma ID field from object, after that we have to put some filter conditions. How to put the filter condition? Where. So we have to write keyword as where and the logic. Logic is so branch underscore C is equal to in the single quotes, I will write EC. That means wherever branch has EC, only it will fetch those records. That means we are putting some of the like filter conditions. Okay. Now if I click on execute, then see I can able to see only 2 records. This is how I can able to filter. Okay. So this is about the filtering conditions. Where that means in the syntax select fields from object. Then after that here we have to write where. Okay. For filter conditions. Filter condition. Okay. Then it will query only certain records. That's it. Now, here if I go to the contact, there are 1365 records are there. Okay. So that means let's copy this. Okay. If I execute, obviously I will get this 1365 only. Along with the ID comma last name, I want few more records, a few more fields. Phone field, fax field. Okay, these fields are the execute. Then see, I got phone and fax. Phone and fax. Now No, I don't want these 1365 records. I want only one record. Okay. Just from the contact, I want only one record. Randomly, I want to choose. So then how I can able to choose that one means, so for that purpose, here we have to write keyword as limit. So in the limit, whatever the number you provide, those many records it will be fetched. Okay. If I click limit one, that means if I write limit one, execute, then it will return only one record. See, it is randomly picked one of the record and it's fetched. But if I write here limit 10, then it will return 10 records. See, 10 records. Whatever the number you provide randomly, okay, those many records it will be fetched from the database. Okay, this is about the limit. Okay, limit keyword. Okay, now let's move. Now here, if I execute this records, so total 1365 records are there. But now what I want is I want the records, okay, where phone number is populated and fax number is populated. Okay, that means I want only those records where phone and fax both are present. I don't want remaining records. Okay, let's see here. Do we have any other record? Yes, here we have few records. Okay, for few records we have phone field, but we don't have data on the fax field. Okay, and for few of the records there is no phone, there is no fax. Okay, So I want to fetch only these records. Okay, where we have phone and fax. Then how I can able to filter that? That means here select ID comma last name comma phone comma fax from contact where phone not equals to null. Okay, and okay fax not equals to null. That means something is there on the phone, something is there on the fax. Okay. If these two conditions are matched, and means if both the conditions or else if all the conditions are true, then only it will return true. That means if phone field not equals to null and fax is not equals to null, that means something value is there on the phone and fax. So it will fetch only those records. Now if I click on execute, then okay, execute, execute. Yeah. So 1033 records are there. 1033 records are there, which is having phone and fax. Okay, let's see, see. All the records contains phone and fax. Okay, 1033. Out of how many? 1365. Out of 1365, I have 1033 records, which is having phone and fax. Okay, now what if I write R here? R. R means R means if phone is there but fax not there, but fax is there, phone is not there. If any one of the condition is true, then it will return true. So R means what? R means what? R means if any of the condition is true, then it will return true. Now click on execute. Is the number here? Now I got 1173 records. That means see here in this particular record, I have phone, but I don't have the fax. Okay. And if I scroll down, okay. So, okay, I don't have those many records. Okay. So, see here, we have few records which is having phone field, but it doesn't have the facts. But still, it is queried. Why? Why? Because we have written our logic. That means if any one of the condition is true, then it will fetch the records. It will return true and it will fetch the records. Okay. So these are about multiple filters that we can able to add here on the logic. And it is best practice to add filter conditions while writing any of the logic in the real time. Why? Because to avoid unnecessary data. Why? Because we have certain governor limits. Governor limits it was like in a single transactions, we can able to query up to 50,000 records only. Okay. If there are more than 50,000 records, then we can't able to fetch the records. We will get the exceptions. Okay. So this is about the basic like syntaxes about the SOQL. Now let's go with a few scenarios. Okay, a few scenarios. Okay, SOQL query scenarios. So I have queries. Let's assume. Okay, we attended some of the interviews. Okay, let's assume in that particular interview they asked this question: find accounts that have more than 3 opportunities as a child. Okay, find account. Okay, so we have okay, let's discuss at the end. Okay, now yeah, this is very good example. Parent to child query. That means say we have lookup relationship and master detail relationship and different kind of different relationships. Correct. So what's the main purpose of the relationship fields? It will ring two objects. Okay. Now from the parent. Okay. If you want to fetch the child records, then how I can able to query those records? Okay, and from the child, how to query the parent? First, let's go with the child to parent because it is a little bit easy. So let's go here. Okay, let's open accounts. Okay, so account records are the parent. Okay, all accounts. Okay, sample account. Okay, it doesn't have any contact. Okay, it has three contacts. Now, let's assume this is the account record which I opened. Okay, this account record contains total three contacts. One, two, three. Okay, so this is the account. This account contains three contacts. Now let's assume I'm in this particular record. Okay, I'm in this particular record, Salesforce. Now from the Salesforce, okay, I want to get some values of the parent account record. Okay, let's assume here we have account rating and account number. These two I want whenever I query this particular contact record. Okay, now let's write the logic. Very simple logic. Select ID from contact. Okay, this is the basic SOQL query. Now in this contact, I want to fetch phone and fax. Last name. Okay, these are the three fields which I want to fetch. Last name, comma, phone, comma, fax. Okay, these are the field I want to fetch. If I query execute, then okay, I'll get last name, phone, fax. But along with this one, I want this particular account. Only this particular record I want. Only this particular record. Then I can go with the ID. So I can able to filter this particular record with ID, where ID is equals. Okay. Now see, I got that particular record. Oops, yes, I got. Now along with this one, I want this particular accounts rating and accounts number, account number. Then how I can able to get that one means, so here, comma, account dot rating. Okay, so that means here we have to provide the references. So account is a lookup or else master detail on the particular record. Okay, then dot means reference. That means that particular records rating field. Okay, now here account records account dot account number field, account number. Okay, now click on execute. See, contact ID, contact last name, contact phone, contact fax. But here, accounts rating hot, accounts account number. That means parent account number, parent rating. Okay, hot and CD 451796. Still, let's confirm this. So this is the record, phone field, fax field. Okay, this records parent record. I open parent record rating is hot, and account number CD 451796. So that means with the help of dot operator, okay, we can able to fetch any of the field of this parent. Okay. Now, what if I want to fetch some custom fields? Like here we have annual revenue. Annual revenue is a custom field which I created. Okay. Now, if I want to fetch that annual revenue means comma account dot annual underscore revenue underscore C. Execute. Okay, so that means something is wrong here. So let's open edit object, account object, exactly API name I want. API name I want. So account object, fields and relationship, annual revenue. Okay, annual revenue. Oh, this is also standard field. Oh. Okay, so let's go with the additional information. Okay, I want to go with the additional information. Okay, why? Because annual revenue is also standard field. Why? Because there is no underscore C. If there is underscore C, that means those are the record, those are the fields created by us. So copy additional information and come here, replace, execute, space, execute, see, additional information. So additional information is nothing. There is nothing. It is blank. So let's check whether it is blank or not in this particular record. Account. See, additional information blank. Okay, I want to put something. Okay, yes. I've written test. Okay. So now in the additional information, I copied the certain data. Now this one I want to fetch. So here we have a refresh button, refresh grid. See, I got text. So why it is showing in the template format means it is a rich text field. That's why we got this one. Okay. Now, now this is about the standard field, standard object. Okay. What about custom object? What about custom object? Okay. So I have this student object. Okay. Okay. So do we have any lookups on the students? We don't have any relationship fields here. Let's go with another object. No, we don't have anything. So let's open any other application. Okay, so here we have claims and transactions. I think we have lookup on the transaction object. So edit object. Relationship. No, we don't have. So let's open claims then. Yeah, claims have master detail with the insurance policy. Okay, now this is the best example. Okay, now I want to query claims object records. Okay, so let's copy this API name, open developer console. Here, select ID from paste claims. Okay, how many records total? 15 records are there. Okay, in this claim, what are the fields that we have? Okay, claim account. Okay, let's put this insurance policy field. Okay, this is a master detail field. Okay, what if directly I query this? Execute. So in this master detail field, we have the ID of its parent record. ID of its parent record. Now, this parent record information I want. That means, okay, open any one of the existing record. Records. Open any one of the existing record. So here we have SFH. SFH as a parent insurance. In this SFH, okay, later we have four claims. Okay, so we have maximum claim amount, minimum claim amount, sum of claims, count of claims. So these are the four fields I have. So now I want these four fields, or else these two fields, count of claims and sum of claims. These two fields I want. From this child record, I want to fetch those records. So let's open the child record, child ID, copy this ID, where ID is equal, single quotes, okay, execute. Now I'll get only that particular record. In this record, I want to fetch its parent records two fields. Okay. So dot, these are the two fields, count of claims and sum of claims. These two fields, API name I want. So to get API names, let's go to its setup, object manager, fields and relationship. So from here, just copy count of claims, copy, paste, comma, insurance policy dot sum of claim, sum of claim. Okay. Now I have written like this. Okay. I have a confusion, then I'll write here. Okay. Select ID claim amount. Okay. Let's do one thing. Okay. So now select ID claim amount insurance policy number. So these two from the claim object. Now here I have written dot. Okay, that means parent records count of claims, parent record sum of claims. So these two fields I want to fetch from its parent record. Okay, now let's query this one. Whether it will be executed or not, that will check. No, we got one error. What is that error? So here, if we are pointing to its parent record, that too that is a custom field, then we have to use underscore R relationship field that we have to use. Otherwise, we will get error. So remember this particular point. Whenever we are querying any of the parent record from the child, that to a custom field, okay, custom field, then instead of underscore C, we have to write underscore R like this. Okay, underscore R. So that means parent relationship records of this particular field. Okay, now let's change here as well. R R execute. Okay, it is executing. See, executed. So 4 and 6,500. Sorry, 65,000. Okay, this is how we can able to fetch. Okay, this is about child to parent. So child to parent, we discussed about the standard objects and custom objects. So only one thing which we have to remember is whenever we are working with a custom objects, okay, custom fields, okay, we have to put underscore R instead of underscore C. This is a key point which we have to remember in the child to parent SOQL query. Now let's go with the child to parent to child. Parent to child. So parent to child means, okay, if I go with the account object first, okay, account. In this account, one account contains multiple contacts. One account contains multiple contacts. That means with this account, I want to fetch these three contacts, multiple records. Then how I can able to fetch those means. So for that purpose, what I have to do is, first of all, I'll write a simple logic. Select ID, comma, name from account. Okay, where ID is equal. What is the ID of this account? This one. Okay. Then click on execute. Executed. Okay. Now I got that particular record. Edge communication one. Edge communication one. So this particular account style records I want. Here we have three records. So if I want these three records, then where I have to write this in this field section only I have to query. Then here we have to write inner query. Inner query. Now inner query we have to write in a brackets. Okay. Select ID, comma, last name from contact. But there are multiple contacts. So instead of writing a singular name, we have to always write plural name in the inner query. Remember this point. In the inner query, always we have to use plural object name. Okay, contacts. Now click on execute. Okay, it is executing. Okay, see here we have ID. Okay, then name. Then here, see, ID, last name, ID, last name. Three contact records. See, three contact we fetched. Yes, this is how we fetch the records from the parent to child. parent to child. Okay. Now, then this is a straightforward two standard objects. But what if I want to fetch the custom objects? Okay. So here we have this particular query now. So let's use the same thing. Okay. So now insurance policy. Yeah, this is an insurance policy from insurance policy. Okay. Where ID I will change. Okay. Let's remove everything. Okay. So ID I want insurance policy ID, insurance policy. Okay, this is the ID which I want to replace. Okay. So click on execute. Okay, I got this. So here I will go with the name as well. Accept. Okay, this record. Okay, insurance record I have fetched. Now this particular record contains 4 child records in the claim object. So now I want to fetch this claim object. Okay, then how to write? So again, we have to go with the inner query, the bracket. Okay, from parent to child, if you want to query any of the record, we have to use this inner query. Remember this point. Select ID, comma name from claims. Okay. Now here I write only claims. Why? Why? Because I already told you we have to use plural object name in the child query. Child query. Okay. Now if I click on execute, I got error. Why? Because claims object is a custom object. Underscore C. I will write execute. Again error. So here it is also referring to underscore R. That means if we are querying on the relationship objects, then we have to use R. Now click on execute. Now it is executed and we got the output. Take 1 record, 2 records, 3 records, 4 records. 4 records we fetched. So here we have to remember 2 points. Whenever we are querying child custom object fields, custom objects. So in the inner query, we have to write plural object name and we have to use underscore R as a postfix. Okay, not to yeah, postfix correct at the end. Underscore R. Okay, this is how we query the data from child to parent and parent to child. Okay, so child to parent we queried. So here fetch contact whose account is in India. That means see here select ID comma name, account name, account billing city. So these are the 2 fields which he queried from contact where account dot billing country is India. Okay, that means from the contact we are querying account billing city. Okay, and here where billing country is India. Sorry, billing country is India. And see here parent to child means parent to child there they have used inner query. In this inner query the opportunity is plural name of the object. Okay, and there also space name is equal to closed one. That means let's assume here this particular account contains 10 opportunities. In the 10 opportunities we have only 3 records. Those stage name is closed one. So the interview point of the question is, okay, I want all the accounts, okay, or else account where opportunities means child opportunity stage name is closed one. So I want those records. Okay, this is about the parent to child and child to parent query. Now let's go with the semi-join query. Semi-join query means so here see fetch accounts with have at least one contact. At least one contact. That means I don't want the record which doesn't have the contacts. Okay, so that means each and every parent account contains at least one contact. I want those records. So let's copy this. Let's try to execute. Okay, it is executing. So we have too much of data. Okay, 29 records. So in the account object, okay. So total 29 accounts are there. 29 accounts are there. So those 29 accounts contain at least one contact. At least one contact. Okay. Actually, total how many accounts are there in the object? Okay. Select ID comma name from account. If I query this one, then there are total 220 accounts are there in my database. In this 220 records, there are 29 records. There are 29 records which is having at least one contact record. At least one contact record. So this is the query. That means where ID in, okay, select account ID from contact. From contact. Okay, select account ID from contact. So that means here, what are the records that we'll fetch? We'll get, okay, let's query this one as well. Control C, Control V, execute. See, 1365 records. Only account IDs. Only account IDs. Okay. Now here I got account IDs. Okay, that means here account IDs. So based on this account IDs, I am fetching my account records. Account records. Now if I execute, then I got 29 records. Okay, so these account records contain, these are the means at least one contacts. So this is called semi-joint query. Why? Because we are writing a query in the uh, where in the filter conditions. Semi-joint queries. Okay. Anti-joint queries means fetch account that do not have any opportunities. Or else we'll write same this one only. Okay. Okay. So here instead of ID in, I write not in. Okay. Total how many records we have? 29 records out of 220. That means if I subtract 220 minus 29, then how many records? 200, 200 minus 9, that means 191. So 191. So that means 191 records doesn't have any contact. Okay. Now click on execute. It's executing. See, 191 records. This is anti-join query. Okay. So now here we have one more SOQL query, aggregate with date function. Mm, Okay, now let's go with the first one. So here we have two more keywords: group by, having, group by, and having. So group by means let's assume here um, here I got 1365 account IDs, correct? With this particular query, execute. So if I execute, total 1365 records are there. But if I sort this one, then see here, these are the five records contain same ID. And now here these are the records contain same ID. Okay. Okay, it is loading. Okay. So that means there are duplicate records. Now I want to group all the account IDs. Okay. Group by account ID. Group by account ID. So here to avoid the confusion, I'll write last name as well. Last name. Okay, it won't work. Okay. Group by account ID. Execute. See, there are only 30 records. See, these are the four records group. Total looks 30. 30 only, no? Yes, 30. 30 only. So here simply grouping means it will group all the same name records. Okay. So let's go with the example here. Find accounts that have more than three opportunities. More than three opportunities. So here what they have written select account ID comma count of ID from opportunity. Okay, let's query only this one. Execute. Field must be grouped C. Okay, so count of ID if I write, then definitely I need to use group by. Otherwise, it will provide error message. See, field must be grouped for aggregated result. So aggregated means here count of ID. That means we are fetching some of the counts. So for that purpose, definitely, if we are going with the number count, minimum, maximum, that means roll up kind of scenarios, minimum, maximum, count, and sum. Okay, then definitely we have to use group by. Otherwise, it won't fetch the records. So group by account ID. Okay, group by account ID. Execute. See, this account ID contains only one opportunity. This account ID contains three opportunities. Okay, let's open this particular record. How to open directly from here means select this one, and here we have a button called open detail page. Just click this particular button. Cannot open detail open page. Okay, so the records we can't able to open. So that means simply copy, come here, then replace your ID. Replace your ID. Enter. So now this is the account record. Yeah, account record contains how many opportunities? See, three opportunities. This is what we got. This account contains three opportunities. This account contains four opportunities, like this. So this is how the records which we I fetch. Now here there is one more condition is there in this particular query. What is that? Find accounts that have more than three opportunities. But here, if I query, so more than three opportunities means only these records. Only these records. Even the three also we don't do. So that means only these four records I want. Only these four records. So now here having count ID execute is executing. See, now I got only four records. Okay, if I write equals here, then I'll get three records as well. These are the three records. One, two, three records also. This is how we have to manipulate the SOQL queries. Very, very simple. Okay, practice it.